Welcome to yet another episode of Transparent Podcast. We have a very, very special guest with us today. If you want to introduce yourself, for those who don't know you, give me a name, where you're from, things like that.
Cool. My name is Kyle Petties. I'm an entrepreneur here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So I guess we're going to get into a little bit more about what I do here in just a second.
For sure. And I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you making it out onto the podcast and everything. Pleasure to have you. So could you just tell those who watching my podcast and meeting you for the first time on here, could you just let them know like kind of how was life for you growing up, where you grew up, and then kind of just bring us to where you at right now, and then get into what you do a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people don't know because I always say I'm from Atlanta, but I was born in Mount Vernon, Illinois, which is a very, very small town. Not a whole lot out there, but corn crops. It was real country town. Okay. But that's where I was born. Left Mount Vernon. I think I was about 5 or 6 when I left Mount Vernon, and that's my parents at that time. They were coal miners and working real hard down in the coal mines of Illinois. But they split, and my mom was like, "Hey, it's time to go. We're gonna take you to Atlanta for opportunity." So she wanted me and my sister to really just be in a culture that's conducive to like the mecca of like business and entrepreneurship and just have a better life, basically. But yeah, that's where I was. Moved to Atlanta. Grew up in College Park, Georgia. Crazy times in College Park, but I can't get into everything with that. But it was wild. But it was a cool upbringing. Just being raised in Atlanta. So when people ask me where you from, that's why a lot of times I say, I'm from College Park. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
So
shoot, man. No, that's what's up. And I've actually, for those of you watching, I've been to Georgia. I've been to like the Columbus, Atlanta area. So, but from where you described it might be a little bit different tempo.
Yeah, Columbus. Well, I wouldn't say it's a different tempo because Columbus get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Just College Park in itself, some people know, Waka Flocka and some of the big names and stuff like that. But just College Park in itself, it was just one of those areas where we grew up in that era, just in the 2000s and 99s, where there was a lot of conflict. We had different gangs, and it was, just coming through high school, that's when things started getting crazy. Like middle school and all that was pretty peaceful, but when you start getting to high school, we was in the white tea era, black tea era, and then it got crazy. So, and then you had the nightlife in Atlanta, but I don't know, it's wild because when I look back at Atlanta and all the stuff we did growing up in Atlanta, I'm like so grateful that we still here, because we were just doing some stuff that our parents didn't know about. It was just craziness, like stuff we had no business doing after we got out of school, and just knowing that when we look back at it, even my best friends, we be talking about some of the stuff. I'm just like, dude, can you believe we was actually like living that fearless, back then? But College Park, no structure. Parents working 2 jobs, so it was like the best they could do was really just take the food out the refrigerator, make sure your grades were good, which our grades are already great, but it was just one of those things where we were just always around the wrong crowd. Growing up, and just lucky, man, just really blessed, really, just that we didn't get into trouble that would have stained our whole future, or we just never got caught,
No, man, hey, glad you like you still here, you made it out those times.
Yeah.
But so getting into a little bit, I know you kind of in your introduction you said like some entrepreneur stuff, so could you give kind of like the breakdown on exactly kind of what it is you do, and then kind of what led you to the field or whatever that you're in now?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm in finance, so I'm in the financial services industry. I'm a broker. What I do full time today is I license brokers in the financial services industry. So that's just people who have no knowledge on finances, either they just want to make some extra part-time or full-time income. I basically just round them up. I show them our business model. I show them our compensation plan, and I just teach them how to be a broker and actually grow a business in the financial services world. But my entrepreneurship journey, that started back in, I say, about 2006. I was going to Valdosta State University. My wife was pregnant. Well, she had already had the baby. And being that close to South Georgia, we get a lot of bad weather. So I was working at Red Lobster. My wife was working at Red Lobster. We got hit by a real bad hurricane around that time, and no one came out to eat for like 4 weeks. So if you're a server, all you make is tips.
Yeah.
So you think I got an apartment, I got my car note, I got a new baby, And for a whole month almost, nobody came out to eat at Red Lobster because they were cleaning up the city. Palm trees are down, all that stuff.
Wow.
So my uncle, my first entrepreneur journey actually started with my uncle. He called me and he was in Atlanta. He said, "Hey man, come back to Atlanta. You probably stay with your sister." And he said, "I'm about to build a tax office." And he said, "I want you to come back to Atlanta." And he said, "I think it's gonna be some really good money in this venture."
Okay.
So long story short, we did move back to Atlanta. I trained up under my uncle on taxes.
Yeah.
The first year, I made a ridiculous amount of money for my age. And I blew all of it.
Oh, man.
the same exact year, because I just wasn't used to having that much income come in that quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, in like 4 months, I made more than what I was making in a year at Red Lobster. So you can imagine,
That was some serious
no
bread
discipline.
upgrade.
Yeah, just no discipline. I was just like, just coming home and I was just buying. I can't even remember stuff I was buying, man. Like, me and my wife, we went to the mall, and I remember a story I just told her. I was like, "We're not gonna leave the mall until you can't carry no more bags." And we literally was walking out the mall, like, physically just couldn't carry nothing else. So that's when we left the mall. But looking back at it, man, that was my first like taste of entrepreneurship. It was like, hey, you don't have to work a 9 to 5. You don't have to punch a clock and make $40,000 a year. You can make $40,000 this week. You can make $40,000 this month. Mm-hmm. And when I got a taste of that, my whole mentality changed. I was like, I never want to work for nobody ever again.
Wow. So man, pretty much like you said, there was a bad thunder or tornado, hurricane hit. Nobody was coming out. So that was your only income at the time. At the time, working out at the Red Lobster, and then from there, you said it was the uncle that reached out. You kind of like went out on a limb, learned from him, and then once you got that taste of what you weren't even used to making, you just kind of had a whole mindset shift. It was like this is like could be something serious on your hands.
Yeah, and like I said, the first year I don't think I took it too serious the first year outside of income. I mean, it came in pretty quick, but I don't think I saw it long term really the first year.
Okay.
I think the first year it was like, yo, this was dope. Like we're doing taxes. I mean, the marketing strategy was phenomenal. Everything, the way we attacked the market in Atlanta was phenomenal, and the income was coming in so quick. It was like, okay, cool. But I never saw myself like, okay, I'm gonna do taxes the next 10 years. Okay. It was really just like still in that shock factor the first year. And then I think what kind of kept the longevity going, because I've never taken a tax year off since 2006. I've been consecutive as a tax preparer. So the second year, I think what drew me back in was the clients from the previous year called me back. Okay. I was never even expecting. I was just thought this was like a one and done thing. And then I started getting phone calls like late November, December. Hey Kyle, it's so and so. You did my taxes. Hey, I want to get on get on the schedule for this year. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 20, like young, mid-20s. I'm like, all right, go ahead and pencil you in. I guess I'm doing taxes again. Yeah. And it just organically grew like that. I started, I think my first tax year, I might have only done maybe 85 taxes. Right now, I know I was under 100, so it's about 80 to 100 taxes. Okay. But it came, like I said, it came really quick. So that first year was, I say, 80 to 100 taxes. By year 2, all those folks I did their taxes for, they started bringing their friends and family to me. So I don't know. You got to calculate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this real quick. I'm gonna show you this because a lot of people. I know people that's watching with like, is there money in the tax industry? So I'm gonna have you do it because I don't want to cheat. So
all right, we doing this live.
Yeah, we doing this. So do 85 people, and remember I'm 24. I think I'm 24 at the time. Okay. So 85 people. Now the average tax return in Atlanta this time was about $475. That's like H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, all the big names, right? Okay. We undercut them and came in at $375. So what's that times 375?
So the 85 times 375. That's 31,875.
So that's in a month. So that's what changed it for me. So I'm like, and now that's an average. So some tax returns are business tax returns where we charge $700. Some were a little bit lower than that, but the average that it came out to for the year was about $375 is what we were charging clients. And we were $200 less than our competitors. So everybody came to us.
Because y'all was cheaper.
Because we were cheaper. And we did the same exact service. And if you did 85 tax returns in 1 month, you just made $30,000 in 1 month. That's why I lost my mind back in 2006 because I was like,
Dang.
I'm 25 years old. I just made 30 grand in a month.
Hey, you lose your mind in 2022 with that.
Man, listen. But I was like, I said, that's why I said that year, that was, we just went from dead broke in college to 30,000 in 1 month. So that's why I was like, we about to go to the mall and buy everything.
Dang.
You know?
that's for some people, that's what, like 6 months of showing up every, you know what I mean?
True, that was my yearly income. I made 30,000 a year at Red Lobster.
And then you made it in 30 days.
And I made it in 30 days. And we still had 2 more months in the tax season to go. That was just March. So we still had, February started, February, March, you had April it ends. But I started, in January marketing. So about late January we started. February is our big full month. March was a big full month. It started to die off in April with the clients because most people got the taxes done. So that was just like when I saw those numbers, that's when going forward I said, man, what if I doubled this? If I double my clients at 200 times 375, I'm making 6 figures in 60 days. I can literally take the whole rest of the year off. I can pay all my bills up front.
That's crazy.
And I'm only working 2 months out of the year.
Is y'all hearing this?
So that's freedom. That's and some people are like, well, I want to make $1 million. Do it. But for me, freedom was just like, dude, if I can make what I just made a whole year in 3 months, the whole rest of the year, I don't have to answer to nobody if I just manage my money properly.
And could you tell anybody who watching, like you said, that breakdown there, and if you did have the rest of the year off, could you just, if anybody watching, what could they do with that whole year off? Vacations. You're at
all your kids' school events. Every single one. You're not missing nothing. And you think about that, like nobody raises kids to not be in their life. But we send our kids to school for 8 hours a day. They get a 1 hour lunch break. The teachers see our kids more than we do. By the time they get home, parents are still at work.
Yeah.
And then by the time the parents get home, they're tired. The kids are already getting ready for bed, and they back off to school. So you think about what if you just grinded for 2 months, and now you have complete freedom to you can put your kids on the bus, and you can go pick them up from school if you want to. You can go to every single event. That's where the freedom came in.
Dang, man, that's what's up, man. Definitely making the moves with making that change in your life and taking that big step. And then, like you said, you had that big event that happened, with the hurricane. So it kind of just, put you in a situation to where it's like, hey, like, I gotta still provide.
Yep.
And then, man, that's great. I wanted to ask you, so with that, with the new, or once that happened and you had the new kind of career change, and like you said, kind of organically you were just getting clients and repeat clients and getting like referrals from other people that was like, hey, like they wanted to link in with you. With that change in career, like how would you say it has impacted you, like thus far, even today, like just making that, I guess that different like kind of, I guess, mentality switch and going into like that financial realm, like how has that just impacted your life just overall, I guess?
I think the big thing it's taught us, because we've had a lot of ups and downs. My wife, she's a business owner, she owns a beauty salon. We have our financial services business that's outside of taxes. I think a lot of the big change was a mental change. First it was financial, because you had the money rolling in and you're able to take care of some things and actually just do some stuff that you want to do. You get to buy some cool stuff, toys and things like that. But when you get a little further into it, it's like, man, like my mental has completely shifted to what, just our purpose of, what we can do with in the right industries and the right talents.
Okay.
So my mental, I think, just kind of shifted the most, and I really started looking at everything from a different point of view. I started changing my circle. I started hanging around wealthier people, and I really started seeing what they do on a daily basis and the lifestyle they live.
Yeah.
And then I think it just really started molding my mentality now to be a mentality of more of, yes, I still want to make a lot of money, but it's with a purpose now. It's like, now I really want to see, if I make this much money, if I make the $1 million in a year, now what can I do? How many extra opportunities open up? And I think that's like the big thing now is like, a lot of people, man, all you talk about is money. It's like, well, I'm in financial services, so that's my career. But at the same time, it's like, imagine what you can do. Because I've seen like on Facebook where you gave back, and I saw John Moultrie, he had posted with the whole shopping cart, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay, I don't know how big the podcast is right now, but I'm like, that impact probably impacted maybe, 5 to 10 families. And now think about $1 million.
Wow.
You could have bought 50 of those shopping carts worth of the groceries.
And
you could have shut the grocery store down for the day. Now the impact is bigger. So when people say, "Oh, you're just trying to make more money," it's like, yeah, because I'm the type of person, if I make more money, I can do more good things for other people.
You can take care of the people.
There you go.
Everybody go eat.
Yeah, that's everybody eat.
There it is, man. Oh, I wanted to ask you too. So just looking at kind of how life is now, is there any advice that you would, if you could reach back to like the 18-year-old you, or say even younger, or if there's there's any young people out there now, what advice could you give to like the old you, or just the youngin' that's like just right now? Maybe they don't got financial knowledge, maybe they just kind of just getting by, don't have no real guidance or plan for life. Like, what guidance maybe you could have gave yourself or like somebody else out there?
The first piece I'll say, I just read this quote today, and it said, "Miserable people have a problem for every solution." And when you really think about that, every time we give someone a solution to something, they give us another excuse or a problem behind it. Wow. So miserable people have a problem for every solution. What I would tell my old me is be about substance and not show. And I think growing up, I was really about show. And what I mean by that is, even when the money was coming in, like the mall trip, that could have been 30 grand. It could have been put in an investment account. Why did we go on that shop? When you look back at some of the stuff you did, yes, you needed to do it to probably learn from it. But when you look back at it, it's like, that was so stupid. There was no sense of doing that. We had, we were staying at my sister's house at that time. 30 grand, I should have been putting that on the house for my own family, Yeah. So, but we bought all this designer and watches and Louis bags and all this stuff, and it was like that was all for show, so other people could see that we had money. And now it's like, when you're around people that have real money, they don't show that. They may have a nice car, they may be clean dressed, but most of the entrepreneurs I'm around that make 6 figures, 7 figures plus, they're so authentic and genuine. And when you talk to them, they're in freaking jeans and a t-shirt, but they're talking about their stock portfolio. So it's not about show. It's not about, oh, look at my Lamborghini outside, look at this outside. And some people are like that, it's attraction marketing, nothing wrong with that. But most people that have real wealth, they will sit you down and they will educate you on things that actually matter. They're going to talk to you about life insurance. They're going to talk to you about investments and mutual funds and assets and real estate and, people doing Turo now and buying rental cars and, all these different ventures where you can have multiple streams of income. Yeah. They're talking about what next business move are you making, not, oh man, I love your Louis belt. I love your, if you're a sneakerhead, I love that you got every single pair of Jordans. And it's not to bash sneakerheads, but I'm just like, at the same time, it's like, if something happened, them sneakers ain't paying for nothing. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm glad you got the newest Jordans, but my son also has an investment account and you don't, and he's 12. Man. So now it's just like, who is it about show or substance? And I teach this to my kids now, and I ask them like, hey, you got some money from grandma, what do you want to do with it? You want to go buy something with it? You want to do some Roblox? You want to do some Fortnite coins or whatever? Yeah. Or do you want to put a portion of this into your investment account? And they're seeing now the long term going. They're like, you know what? If I put this in my investment account, there's a quicker and faster way I'm gonna get what I want. They talking about GTRs and Lambos and stuff. So for them, that's the first start. That's a step in the right direction for them getting really what they want. Wow. So they don't have to go to school. Their clapback at school is strong. Kids can't roast them. Oh man, look at you with those shoes. And they're like, well, I also have an investment account. And these other kids don't even understand the same language they're speaking. They're like, huh? Wow. Like, yeah, like, no, we invest.
It's levels.
Yeah, we invest. It's levels over here. Like, your designer is awesome, but when you graduate high school, we'll see who's laughing. Because they're getting geared to leave high school and go open businesses and not just go work for somebody.
Wow, man, I'm glad you hit on that. And even just that last point, like you said, with a lot of like schools nowadays, or like the school system, I won't even just say nowadays, but like for most people, or in my opinion, I would say it's built to, once you get out, for you to have a certain type of lifestyle, I would say, versus like what you trying to create is like, hey, you don't have to necessarily, if you work a 9 to 5, that's completely something you would choose, but like we're making it to where you can take care of yourself. Yeah. You can do something for yourself, and man, that's really good. Also, I wanted to say, So that's a good piece of advice he gave out for you guys, and definitely go back, rewind this podcast, take some notes and hear those gems he dropped. And I wanted to say if there's anybody out there that you want to, I don't know if there's anyone out there that motivated you or that you want to shout out that, I don't know, maybe helped you along the way. Is there anyone out there that, I don't know, maybe inspired you? Hey, wait, I'm not trying to put them on the spot. The list could be long, but
it is.
Yeah.
First, my family, obviously, definitely the position we're in. I want to thank God, because that, boy, we've been through some ups and downs. But when it comes to like pure motivation, man, it's honestly everybody I watch on Facebook. I'm on Facebook every day. I'm heavy on social media, and it's really, a lot of times I don't even post, but I just take in. Every time I see somebody doing something, I'm like, yo, I gotta go a little harder. Okay. So it's hard for me to shout out one person, because like if you're watching this and you watch this podcast, I probably have seen something you posted that motivated me for the day. It could have been your podcast. It could have been within our Primerica business. It could have been our investment side. It could have been folks back home doing taxes. I got frat brothers doing real estate, killing it, driving Lambos and all that. I mean, our circle is so cool, and it's just like every day I get inspiration from somebody different. I've been on Steve Harvey lately, loving his Family Feud short takes and all that. Yeah, so I've been watching that. Gary V, because he cusses, and I think Gary V kind of motivates me a different way. So many different leaders in our company. Yeah. So I think a lot of it's just like, it's hard. I only want to give a shout out to one person. It's just like, I would just say, when you're an entrepreneur, I think you can really relate to that question. Every day you wake up, it's somebody else that's feeding into you. And as long as you stay plugged in, I feel like that's a big piece that's like, it just re-energizes your battery every time. Man. Just listen to everybody that's just moving. And
that's what's up, man.
You see all the folks sitting on the sideline, it's just like, that's motivation too, because it's like, man, these jokers don't be in the same position 10 years from now, and I don't want to be there.
Exactly. Man, that's what's up, man. He drawing motivation a little bit from everyone, and I'm sure, somebody watching it, they probably see something you doing, and it's like, a healthy iron sharpens iron, you know what I mean? So, man, that's what's up. And lastly, do you have any, if anybody do want to follow you or anything, or where can they reach you if they have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that you want to plug in, shout out? Yeah, so I'm going through a full rebrand right now, which is pretty cool. So you guys will be seeing more of a hashtag of Petty's Wealth Club. So we've already locked in a good bit of the redesign, the rework of our branding. But right now, I'm pushing everyone towards my landing page. Okay. So within our company, we did just create this really cool landing page where if you would, and I would just plug this, if you would like to sit down one-on-one with me, and one of the things I do within our company, we give out free financial portfolios. Most people charge $1,000 just to sit down with a financial advisor. I don't charge. So one of the things I do, I sit down and I get people, hey, let's see where you're at, see where you need to be, and get you on the right track. To get one of those, I always tell people, go to my landing page. There's a 3-minute video you can watch, gives you some information about our company. You'll see me and my wife on the front page, and you can hit the button that says "Tell me more," and it'll connect you with me. Okay. So the landing page is www.livemore, so LIVEMORE.net / my last name is Petties, PETTIES. So it's livemore.net / Petties. And that will take you to my landing page. You'll see me, my beautiful wife on there. Watch the 3-minute video. If something piques your interest and you say, hey, I want to definitely lock arms with this guy in business, or just have a one-on-one consultation with me, that's the best way to reach me. I check those leads about once a week. Okay. So usually every Sunday is when I'm checking to see who's actually hit that landing page. Mm-hmm. And then I give out those phone calls and set those appointments throughout the week to meet with people one-on-one. Shoot, man. Yeah. Well, that sounds good, man. Hey, and definitely I'm going to plug that somewhere here in the video. You'll see it. Or, of course, in the description if you want to reach out. But, hey, man, just on camera, I'll give you that shake, man. Appreciate you for coming out. You dropped some gems, some nuggets. And for those of you who are watching, like, from the story, you can see he been through some times and coming out on the other side, just, grinding and, putting himself in a position to succeed. So definitely, go play this back, share it with a friend, use it for some motivation. And like I said, I'll plug everything in if you want to reach out. But we just want to thank you guys for, tuning in and watching yet another episode of Transparent Podcast. And we'll see you guys soon.